For gamers who wanted to relive some of the classic games from their childhood, your smartphone acts as a good enough emulator of early video game consoles. While there are devices that can handle emulation way better like the PSP or PS Vita, for some, they don't have the space to bring a standalone handheld and a smartphone. But with touchscreen controls, it's not the best experience, especially since you have to be aware of the virtual buttons you're pressing. So recently, I tried this controller. Let's take a closer look.
Hi guys, I'm Zach and this is GG Fistbump. Today we'll be talking about the 8BitDo Zero. It is a mini Bluetooth controller that easily fits in your pocket.
I've been playing emulators on my phone since 2004, ever since I had a Nokia 6260. Vampent's VBag and VBoy definitely gave me amusement when I had to board over 260 kilometers away from home for school. Fast forward to 2019 and emulation on smartphones just got better. But unlike my old Nokia phone, there were no physical buttons in today's smartphones, which I appreciated back then because you can press from muscle memory. After seeing the 8BitDo Zero controller, it piqued my interest. It was probably the smallest controller I've ever seen. It meant that bringing it wasn't a hassle as it was lightweight and it can easily fit small pockets. This controller is compatible with Android and iOS. If you have a Bluetooth connection, you can also use this on Windows PC, Mac OS, and some cameras wherein you can use this as a shutter. To connect, just input the command for the certain device you're connecting this into. Let's say I wanted to connect this to an iOS device. Hold Start and A for 2 seconds and once it blinks thrice like in the instructions, you can connect. For Android devices, just hold Start, and this time it blinks just once. You know, for something affordable, the build is quite nice. Its design resembles the SNES gamepad. It has a D-pad, select and start, 4 face buttons, and the L and R trigger buttons. The built-in 180 mAh battery is enough to power the device to up to 18 hours after a 1 to 2 hour charge. Although I haven't tried to use it continually for that long, as I only intended to use it during mobile sessions. You can use standard micro USBs to charge it, which is good because one of my phones uses that kind of cable. If you don't have one, there's a small USB cable already included in the packaging, as well as a hand strap. The design is good enough for retro emulators that utilize this much buttons, such as a Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, SNES, and NES. But it can work on modern games as well. Of course, due to lack of analog and R2 and L2 trigger buttons, you can't expect to completely enjoy those that use it, like the PSP and PS1 emulators, as you would need to map out the rest on screen.
Okay, so now let's try this with Super Mario World. Let's see if the controls are actually responsive. Okay. You know, this is actually very comfortable. Okay, the input lag isn't that noticeable, it's very responsive. Okay, I got Yoshi there. this feels actually nice. It's not cheap. It doesn't feel cheap, I mean. Okay, that's good. So now let's try this with the fighting game, some classic Tekken 3. So I'm playing this on my laptop since I can't seem to have this working on my phone. So now I'll be choosing Bruce Lee, Forest Law. So of course with fighting games you need to be more accurate. Let's see if you can pull off some juggles. Oops, missed that one. Okay, so you can see that you can pull off juggles perfectly. Okay, another perfect. So the 8BitDo Zero is actually good for fighting games as well.
The 8BitDo Zero costs around 499 pesos or around $10 from Shopee. This particular one that I'm looking at is from a 4.9 star rated seller. So that's it. If you manage your expectations, the 8BitDo Zero is a good controller to own. It's lightweight, it doesn't take a lot of space, it's responsive enough for gaming, and it has a long battery life. But since it's so small, I understand that it can be frustrating to use for people with big hands.
And with that, I think we're done. If you found this video interesting or entertaining, please like and subscribe to my channel for more content. Again, I'm Zach, and this is GG Fistbump.